Well, throughout the month of February, we've been taking you to the front lines of some of the Piedmont's most demanding professions. And tonight, it's FOX8 reality executive chef.
Chef Leigh Hesling is in charge of not one, but two kitchens at two very popular high-end restaurants. See how talent, hard work, and a love of food come together to create something really special.
So check it out. I'm Leigh Hesling. I'm the executive chef for both Printworks Bistro and Green Valley Grill. All right, kiddies. So these are all the servers, and what we do every time we change the menu, we have a menu meeting. Cauliflower gratin will come in the one-handle stub. Someone want to read that real quick?
Salt and pepper, topped with breadcrumbs and grated free.
Yum. Next one.
Roasted mushroom, chicken stock, and wristlets.
Oh, yeah, see, life-changing stuff. The kitchen crew prepares one of each of the new items that have been changed, and it's usually about 15 things.
Now, tomatoes, butter, garlic, and shallot.
And the day before, they've even been emailed. They get a copy of a menu descriptor, which is a description of each of those dishes.
And it's garnished with fried parsnips.
And then we put the dishes in front of them, and they kind of read through it as a group and taste the food, so they kind of get to connect the dots.
I want to try it.
And then they're required to know it by the time service starts. They need to be able to authentically describe it to a guest. So, you know, they need to be fully versed in the menu before they have their first tables at lunchtime.
So when does service start?
Service starts at 11 o'clock, 30 minutes from now. You don't see anybody wigging out back there. You know, we do this so often. You know, every 6 weeks we're changing the menu, and so they're used to doing this kind of thing. How you doing? This is changing between breakfast, which finishes at 11, and lunch that starts at 11. Each of these guys are in charge of the station, and they're just starting to get their prep together. It's a big old jigsaw puzzle, and you know, and that's what makes it fun. That's the thrill of the ride, when all those parts start fitting together, and you know, yeah, it's like putting together production. Exactly right.
Sí, señor, deme un segundo, por favor.
This is the best mashed potato in the whole world. There may be an obnoxious amount of butter in there. I have a lot of faith in the team. I have a phenomenal bunch of people. If you have a group of passionate people, it kind of is easy. You know, people want to make food that tastes good.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
I bet I get 5 resumes a year from someone who says, I love cooking at home, I want to come work in the kitchen. It's a very different cup of tea. It's long hours, it's hot, it's stressful. But you find that kitchen people, they love it. It's a passion for them, you know. So yeah, it's hard work, but everyone around you is doing the same thing. Kitchen people are usually lifers. They're in it because they have a passion for food, and you know what? The hours come with the territory. It's a BYOB, which actually stands for Build Your Own Bordeaux. So it's a wine blending dinner. This is a 4-course dinner. There was definitely a level of anxiety. I need them to get the hot boxes in here, plugged in, and get the plates in the hot box. I served foie gras, which is, you know, goose liver, for 75 people, you know, event style. I've never, in my 20 years of cooking, I've cooked plenty of foie gras, and it's always been an a la minute, cook and serve kind of thing. Snip purees in this end one down here, Georgie. For me to figure out how to get that perfect quality foie gras for 75 people out the door was a challenge. Yeah, sometimes this is just like the tranquil place to be. You know, the hum of the fans keeps you sane. We're not a hotel restaurant. We're a restaurant that happens to be connected to a hotel. You can't help but when you walk in here to have a sense of This guy was probably swimming 3 days ago. I bet he came out of the water. You need to be prepared enough to be blindsided at 2 o'clock on Tuesday, because it's always going to happen. You know, there's 80 people out there that I don't want to let down. So check it out. I'm Leigh Hesling. I'm the executive chef for both Printworks Bistro and Green Valley Grill. How you doing? My day typically starts between 8 and 9 in the morning.
Hi there.
I always have a pocket full of spoons.
That's what I'm saying.
I bet I taste 80% of everything that goes out of the kitchen on a daily basis. Tough gig. Clearly my day is centered around the 2 main meal periods, lunch and dinner. So these sexy little fellas are cheddar leek soufflés. It's such a well-oiled machine over there. You know, everyone knows their job. You know, our cook time objective is 8 to 10 minutes at lunch rather. And so that's pretty aggressive for the kind of food that we do. Yeah. It's a machine, and when it's running like that, it just hums and it feels awesome. I'll be right out. All right, bye. It was for Oscar Night America, and it's an expensive night, and they want a handcrafted, chef-inspired menu. So this is a flank steak. I'm just going to sear it. It's going to be a perfect mid-rare when it comes out. I need to hope that the folk that I'm cooking it for think it's awesome enough to be part of their event. So this guy, this lonely guy on this tray, gets to hang out in here. I'm not emotionally attached to it. A lot of chefs kind of get weird about people don't like something, they don't like something. So if they don't like it, I'll make them something they do like. You know? These are what you call twice-baked soufflés. So I literally bake these, pour some heavy cream and 11 secret herbs and spices over the top, and then I put them back in the oven and bake them again. You all can't hurt my feelings. If you all don't like something, you make sure you tell me, because we're in the business of making something that you all want to have. God, dude, that is some life-changing stuff right there.
Gorgeous.
This is Wagyu flank steak with truffle bacon demi, braised kale, and a butternut squash gratin. People are going to be all dressed up. It's a high-end event, so the food needs to look delicate and and kind of sexy.
You got her.
Awesome. I would call that successful. Thank you so much. My pleasure. This is fun.
Sí, señor, denme un segundo, por favor.
That is delightful. It's such an awesome feeling in that kitchen when everything is just humming along. It's like a machine. It really is. You wind up the flywheel and it just goes. That shrimp salad's up. It's a BYOB, which actually stands for Build Your Own Bordeaux. So it's a wine blending dinner. This is a 4-course dinner. Just let that be his bag. There was definitely a level of anxiety. I served foie gras, which is, goose liver, for 75 people. For me to figure out how to get that out the door was a challenge. Laura, if you can get a little bit of the juice in the bottom of those pans, that would be fabulous. There's 80 people out there that I don't want to let down. It's a true art to figure out how to prepare something to a stage. It's about staging. One of the best lessons I ever learned from a great mentor of mine was, the secret of cooking is knowing when to stop cooking. This foie is freaking perfect. The level of fun comes at the end of that when the last plate goes out and it was successful. That's when you can kind of reach over and give yourself a pat on the back, and that's the fun part.
Can we get a flat iron medium well right here?
This is Hassan. Hey, Hassan, wave. Hassan is awesome. So we make a risotto base. Cooking should be fun. So many people get uptight about it. People don't understand a lot of cooking anymore. It's an affliction of our fast food society here, I think. The fish special is amberjack with polenta and spinach, topped with a chorizo cream sauce. Yum. We are in for a really cool class. I want people to feel like they're at my house. We are going to do a citrus seared tuna, okay, with avocado butter. What? And I would be cooking like I would be cooking at home. We're just gonna start with going straight down. It's really geared for anybody who wants to get a cooking class out of it. I'm just going to straight down. And it's geared towards people who are just there to enjoy some good food, have a little bit of a show. Yes, ma'am. And drink some wine. I'm going to need another one over here. I deliberately make it fun. I throw some technical stuff in there, but not too technical. You go by a microplane, just to, so the folk who are there to learn something get to learn something. And then, I love that word. Kind of just goof off. Isn't that gorgeous? And make it fun. Gorgeous! I genuinely enjoy being in front of people, and I genuinely enjoy doing those cooking classes and that kind of direct interaction. There's instant gratification for me. You don't often get that. If I can just cause people to have less anxiety in their home cooking something, then that's mission accomplished. It's easy to get left behind in this business. You got to stay on the edge. We have business travelers who may have been in New York yesterday, maybe London the day before that, maybe Paris the day before that. The menu needs to reflect a level of culinary interest that would satisfy those folk, but also the folk who want to come here and get a burger and fries before they go to the movie. I really can't imagine anything else. I kind of accidentally got into this in the first place. It was basically an after-school job that fell into. I really now can't imagine what else I would have done or how I would have gotten to this point in my life if I hadn't have done this. Isn't it awesome?